welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Well, Married at First Sight dinner parties are always filled with drama, and of course, tonight's one wasn't that different. Let's start off with Ella and JJ. I mean, they're in bed at the start of the show, talking about how much shit they're taking, and they want a clean slate. But yet, as soon as they get to the dinner party, you've got Ella picking an argument with Jordan as soon as she walked in. So I'm like, if you want a clean slate, how about you just shut up? Now, you guys shouldn't even be in the process. Let's be fair. You came in, you've married different people. So, of course, people are going to think something's up with that. That's just common sense, right? But I forget, on this show, definitely it seems like common sense is not common. Wagwan, as people, my inclusive crew. Let's talk about Married at First Sight UK. So, of course, it was a dinner party. What was interesting was just the way that things kicked off almost immediately. Obviously, it was a different location because they're still away on their trip. But usually when they have their little gatherings and have their little, drinks reception type thing, they are just usually chatting with each other, gossiping with each other. But at this point, everyone seems to be on smoke. You've got Ella. As soon as Jordan and Erica came in, she was straight at Jordan about, do you have something to say to me? And she called him a prick, told him that she doesn't like him and she believes that he doesn't like her. Sure, he's got opinions, which was a bit irritating because I thought, well, actually, Jordan just walked in. You brought this up, but just said at the start of the show you want a clean slate. You did mention that you wanted to tell him to shut up. So, but at the same time, you're saying, in the next breath, you're saying to Jordan that you can't be asked with it. So what is it? If you can't be asked with it, don't bring it up. Then you've got JJ saying he doesn't want to talk about it every other day. Yeah, but Jordan didn't bring it up. Like Jordan said, I didn't bring it up. Your wife did. He didn't say wife. He said your girlfriend did. Which just let him know that I don't think you guys should be part of the process. I don't even see you guys as married. This is just your girlfriend because obviously you cheated on your wife. That's how I took it anyway. I just thought this is not a good way to start off. And then we move on to Laura, who then comes in on smoke too. Her first target, Jordan. And then she pulls Jordan to the side and mentions, the stuff that she's been hearing, and she's really upset about all these opinions. Then tells him Arthur's best man says it's happy he's ever seen him. Jordan, of course, sticks to his point and says that he's seen 4 examples of her belittling him. And, he stands on his square, as he should. Arthur, of course, is sitting there. Yes, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong, nothing to see here. It's just like, okay, Arthur, okay. So after having her chat with Jordan, her next target was then George, because she hears him talking about her. So she brings him over and says again, I don't really like what I've been hearing, blah, blah, blah. George also stands on it to a degree and says, basically, I do feel like you have belittled him. But what I thought was interesting in her reply was her saying that she feels like she's making him a better man. And I thought, this is interesting. I guess Arthur agrees with that because he did say at one point that he does feel like she's definitely helped him a lot, and so that's how he feels. But I thought that was an interesting choice of wording to use. So that was just at the reception part, right? So I was just thinking, this is kind of kicking off a bit early. They haven't even got around the table yet. So they do get around the table. You've got these people trying to make great toast. But we know it's going to be a bit of a car crash, but, such is life. Now, at the table, I thought it was really interesting because you've got Peggy and George looking really, really awkward. Now, at this point, like I've been saying, I do feel bad for George. His man looks fed up and just drained of the whole situation. You've got Peggy over there worrying about other people's opinions as usual, and it's really getting to her. Now, at this point, I'm just like, can you guys just get off my screen? Because it's really, really annoying. You're obviously not happy, Peggy, so then maybe just go your own way. George actually likes you and is trying to change himself to the point where even he doesn't look very happy. Peggy going on about, telling Erica and Jordan that she feels like George doesn't care about, the heat that she's getting. I don't think he doesn't care about it. He just doesn't care about people's opinions. Even Erica says you can't let other people's opinions come in, otherwise that's where you end up going off the rails. But that's just obvious. Her need for validation is at a ridiculous level. Like I said before, I'm just not here for it. She's creating her own problems here because they're not really a major problem. If you like the man, why do you care what anybody else thinks? Thomas and Roz, now they are a couple that I think are doing really well. To begin with, I thought they were a complete car crash. I mean, look at the start of how they started off. He didn't want to hug her, and then the other day he was saying he wants more hugs and he wants more affection. So I'm like, these guys have come on leaps and bounds. Like, I honestly thought that they might have well just left early in the process because it was going so badly. But I'm glad they proved me wrong. and that they are doing very well in their coupledom. Now, on to Laura. So when Laura spoke at the table and said, it's her toughest week, and she doesn't like that she's had all this criticism from the guys about her character. She feels like she's had a full character assassination, essentially. Like Charlene said, if you're getting the same feedback from a number of people, maybe you should take a step back and look at that. And she needs to do that. In Laura's case, I feel like it's the truth hurts. And sometimes it's hard to when people do shine a mirror at you and you see yourself and you think, that's not me. That's fair. But at the same time, you have to look at yourself. Look at how you've been behaving. She has been very condescending, very belittling. So I don't get what she's not seeing. Everybody else can see it. I definitely can see it. And other people out here watching it can see it. So I don't know. But Arthur is over there happy as Larry, it would seem, because he's happy to be with her and he doesn't mind how she treats him. I will say that it was hilarious where Thomas mentioned her being condescending and patronising, because I do feel like it was, again, a bit of a Jordan onslaught. He's the only honest person around there, it would seem, or the only person who's happy to say what he actually believes and stand on it. So when Laura was coming at Jordan, and so was Arthur, I like that Thomas said, well, he wasn't the only one who said it. And then he said, I've seen it. I think you can be very condescending and patronising. And then she hit back, saying, well, didn't you call Arthur a Neanderthal? And then Thomas corrected her. But my point was, that's not the point. I feel like she's just trying to make it justify her argument. But you are supposed to be a husband and wife. So therefore, what happens between you guys is very different to what happens with a random stranger, your friend that you just met a couple months ago, who's having a spat with your husband. That's very different. There's friends and there's a relationship. So clearly there's an issue. There's no smoke without fire. I mean, come on, what the hell is going on here? So I don't know about that couple either. Now, Luke saying that he told Jordan to shut up because he feels like, he doesn't listen unless someone's being stern is such bullshit. I just thought, what a load of rubbish. And then obviously he went off because he wasn't feeling very well. Now, Jay and Luke's situation came up, of course, and Luke was not there at this point. So I did feel a bit bad for Jay because obviously she's on her own. So emotionally she was getting a lot. But it was interesting to me at the same time because Jay and Luke have been involved in a lot of people's mix-up. They've definitely been witness to a lot of mix-ups. So this is the first time they're under the microscope for a change. And of course, the comment that he made about wanting to get a girl's phone number came up. And of course, we know that's out of order. She knows that. She said that, he apologised and she don't think he meant it in that way. Then, of course, Erica and Jordan let her know about the kind of the robbing a bank situation and the analogy that he used, to which really pissed her off, which is understandable, because if you're saying, you can rob a bank and get away with it, you're implying you can cheat and get away with it. So I can understand why she was upset. Obviously, hearing it from other people, it is even worse. So I did feel a bit for Jay. She definitely deserved a bit more than what she's getting at the moment. And it's sad because to begin with, Jay and Luke were one of my favourite couples. I just felt they were so well matched. But over time, I'm seeing red flags from Luke, mostly because of the things that he's saying. He needs to think before he speaks. With Laura and Arthur, I mean, even when the box came up, the question box for all the couples, and they were asking about being happy in their marriage, it was quite interesting. You've got Arthur, saying he wasn't at the start, but, he's so much happier and she's done so much for him and all this kind of praise. And her response was like, basically it was rocky at the start, but, he's being more of himself now. And so, yeah, they're fine. I'm like, that's not really an answer. That wasn't are you happy? I don't feel like you said, yes, you are definitely happy. It was he was rocking and he's being more of himself now. So again, I do feel like she's always kind of picking away at him, but she doesn't, she seems very clueless to it all. Ella and JJ, whatever, they're talking about their hair to grow their bond, blah, blah, blah. Peggy and George, how much faith do you have in the future? I thought George, gave a very good answer in the sense of, saying that he adores her and, he feels that they're there for the right reasons and he is trying to show his real self and they're a team and all this kind of stuff. Peggy's response was just, oh, well, it's been a tough day and yesterday was tough and all the opinions I've been getting to her. And, I was like, this is not an answer. You're not saying anything because you don't see a future with this man. Be honest. That is the truth. Instead, you're just waffling about opinions. Like, this is disastrous. You're a grown woman worried about everybody else's opinions. And these are people that you just met. You just met these people, but they're your friends. Fine, they're your friends, but they're your new friends. And you cannot base your life on what people think. I think she needs to take that bit of that leaf from George. Now, of Jay getting really upset to the point where she didn't go back to her room that night. And then we see, Luke saying that he was worried and, didn't know where she was. And she comes in and lets him know that she's upset, basically, about the whole thing that he's been saying. Lets him know about this comment about the robbing a bank. And why is he lying? What do you mean it's been taken out of context? So I guess this is why he punched Jordan and has been kicked off the show. Because obviously he's infuriated about this because, once again, it's Jordan's name. We know he doesn't like Jordan. But Jordan wasn't the only one saying this. Jordan did bring it up, but even George added his 2 pence in. He did try to defend Luke and say he doesn't think he's a cheater. But either way, you said that comment. What other way is she going to take it? She's also upset about you saying that she's being a pushover. So now that she's come back and she's pissed off and she's actually letting you know, so you're getting what you asked for, you're in tears. So what do you want, sir? Do you want somebody who is a pushover, which she's not? She just wants to be in a healthy relationship, Luke, okay? Because you just said that you want someone who can stand up to you. She definitely stood up to you, and you're now in tears because you're talking about people are trying to ruin your relationship. No, that would be you. The words that came out of your mouth were, you could go and get a girl's number. The other words that came out of your mouth was about robbing a bank, and if you get away with it, you'd all get away with it. So what context are you putting that in? You're saying, oh, it's just general, it's just in life. No, but you were talking about cheating and being in your marriages and stuff. So how is that just life? Like, come on, make it make sense. It's just not making any sense. And I can't believe he even stormed off and was, saying, oh, he's upset about all this. I'm just like, you created your own rod for your back. So, yeah, be upset then, innit? Because you shouldn't have said that in the first place. It's just common sense. Like I said, common sense is not coming across this program. But, yeah, it's just common sense in my mind. So I don't get it. I think it's going to be interesting on Monday. I will be staying tuned. But what do you guys think of the episode today? Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.